on us.
Well, because I don't want y'all talking too much. I want it for the show instead of you know what I'm saying in private, so we can
Well, let's get started.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, everything's live, baby. We live. Tap in. We about to get it started, man.
Let's send it out. What's the dealio? What's the word on the kidney? You feel me? Yo.
Oh shit! Let me turn it
I'm laughing my ass off, huh?
Too
many herbs.
Too many herbs.
These niggas is out of control.
Too many Herberts.
And then, oh shoot! I don't see nobody. They go from Bate. Somebody. I wonder how. Anyway,
yeah.
You guys is joining. If you go on Facebook, come in and you can comment on YouTube. Subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and like all that good stuff. And if you're on Facebook, I can't see your comments on there too, but it is better on if you actually go speak through YouTube. All right, or comment on YouTube. All right. So y'all ready to get it started, man?
Let's go.
That dope ass.
We waiting on you.
Come on, man. What's talking about?
And you know this, man.
No, for real.
We waiting on you.
I love this now.
You almost did some wild. See, you get you.
And you know this, man.
All our illusions will disappear, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
I love y'all.
What's up? This Reasons, y'all, the place where you can give your opinions on what we're talking about today. It's your boy Fuel in the house.
Fat boy in the building. You already know what type of time we on. We're here.
Black lifting the place to be. Let's go.
And it's Dr. C. We're in the place to be.
Let's get
Y'all
it.
getting better. Y'all getting better every week. I like that.
Come on, man.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
We got a lot to talk about, you guys.
Let's go.
Hey, let's start off with the fires.
Let's talk about
Let's start off with the fires. As you guys know, there's fires going on here in California, and specific places. I'm gonna say now, you know what I'm saying? Because even though I feel for the families that still are losing their homes, you know what I'm saying? It's not all, of course, their doings or anything like that, and they still got to go through and suffer, these past few weeks and stuff like, and probably even a little bit longer, probably next month, a few months from now, you know what I mean? They're homeless. A lot of people got, have become homeless, displaced, all that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So our prayers go out to those families, and I hope you guys, get through this. And hope we all get through this, because still, I mean, we don't know what's on the agenda, and that's why I'm talking about the agenda, because that's basically what's going on right now. It's an agenda going on, I think, with these fires. I'm gonna just give my own opinion on what I think is going on, and that is, for one, all the fires are in higher class. What did somebody ask? Somebody told me yesterday, out of my income bracket.
Yeah, so definitely our income bracket.
That's a better way to put it. Mm-hmm. And it's suburban areas and in the ritzy areas, basically, right? So, and it's just ironic how that you have houses in Malibu right on the ocean, and you got water right there, but you're talking about water through a hydrant, but you got planes that could actually put those fires out even faster. That's one. Two, You go all the way to Altadena, you guys, and that's Altadena is another kind of high class area, or whatever. And of course, that was a big fire as well, and all that area is pretty much gone. Then 3, after the winds and all this stuff was even said and done, the next day or so, it ended up being a fire in another high class area, which was the Hollywood Hills, right? Okay, so now you got this, and everybody evacuated for Hollywood Hills and all this type of area or whatever. And then there still wasn't nearly the high winds that they blamed on all these other fires, in which they said one was arson, which really means all of them was probably arson. But then they ended up having a fire over in Brentwood, which is basically another ritzy area close to Beverly Hills. Now, is coincidence? No. I mean, nothing's in the inner city right now. Nothing's like in our areas right now. You know what I mean? And hopefully, I hope
stay away.
Yeah, I hope that there's nobody's doing that type of thing or whatever the case would be, and then they end up doing it in the city, of course. But I'm hopefully that I'm wrong, but it's just still weird how that's happening. And if you guys haven't heard the talk about they're going to build like what they call a smart city, right?
Oh, in Malibu?
In all of these areas.
In all of these areas?
All of them, yeah.
Because they're in the ritzy areas.
Mhm.
And just think, you got Trump about to be in office. You got Elon Musk. I guess his hand is going to be in on that property. Trump and don't like the governor of this state. You know what I'm saying? So they've been getting into it or whatever the case may be. They cut insurance.
75,000 policies.
75,000.
These people do not have coverage.
Exactly.
Fire coverage. 75,000.
So I'm sure if anything, they're going to offer them pennies to nickels to the property anyway. You know what I'm saying? To get to build all this stuff or whatever the case would be. It's some crazy stuff going on. So that's my opinion on the fires. Real quick, anybody got something? Y'all got anything else?
I just want to give shout out to kind of clarify. Altadena is a upscale neighborhood, but it's more of a historically predominantly Black community. Actually,
that's what I was going to say. It's predominantly Black.
And so what has been happening is the reason why it's been seen as a ritzy thing is because a lot of the publicity has been more on the Brentwood fires, more on the Malibu fires, more on the mountain fires. But what we're not talking about is how these African American people have built generational wealth, and it's all been wiped out to these fires. And we've allowed State Farm and big companies to pull and cancel 75,000 policies and take away all of these people's money after taking their premiums for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I think that's more of the concern than them with the smart cities. I think that we also need to address that why aren't they really publicizing the importance that Malibu is not a historic city. Let's just put that into place. Altadena is. And so there should be way more highlight around the rebuilding of Altadena. But of course, these are African Americans, and so they're not as important. And like Tyler Perry said, and I'm with him, I think it's up to us, people like us, one with a voice, and then also it's time for us to pull our dollars together to make sure places where people like Jackie Robinson and people like that who fought to be able to live where during redlining, these were the only places where African Americans could purchase homes. And so we really need to highlight that. I think that's the most important. You hear the Eaton fires, but Eaton Mountains are right over Altadena, and that whole community has been devastated. And not a lot of those people are celebrities, right? Not a lot of those people are getting the notoriety and the credibility, right, that the other fires are getting. So I think we definitely need to address that and speak to that as well.
Very true. It's I think the for me, when it comes to you take your every month you budget insurance because you know they tell us that we have to have it. We have to have it. You have to have car insurance, otherwise, you know, you can't take a car off a lot. You got to have renter's insurance because you know if something happens, then the property owners want to make sure that any damage to the building or whatever is covered. So all of these things that they tell us we have to have in order to have a home, but yet and still the insurance companies can
They
cancel
never stand up. Yeah.
and not have to be responsible to assure that people have other companies that they can transition to
Mhm.
when they do that. So now you're leaving people, you know, basically with no protection. And when things like this happen for people that, you know, you have a lot of people that are probably more on the mature senior side that is looked into retiring, and now they were thinking that they able to sit and chill and not have to worry about anything, and then you have a fire rip through, and you mean to tell me I lose all of my possessions and I've paid you over time, years for insurance, and then you cancel me, so now I'm without
Mhm.
and have no way to replace?
Mhm.
Because we got to think about it. It's not just the homes that are gone. You're talking about banks. You're talking about
Business. Yeah.
restaurants, you know, people
Schools.
that had livelihoods. So now you're talking about all these livelihoods that people had of making money so that they could pay their bills. None of that is existing at this point. So, you know, how do they recoup? You know, because if it's one person that's head of household or two people, and you know you're doing what you have to do, once the job is taken, how do you get back to work? You
Yeah.
know, you're focused and you're stressed out on where am I going to lay my head and am I going to be safe?
Mhm. Oh yeah. Yep. You know, that's what's up, Pam? Jen, I see y'all on Facebook. Y'all want to comment, you know what I mean, what we're talking about, hit us up on YouTube and put your
Jill
comment
is
in so
in
we
the
can talk
building.
about it. And Jill's in the house. Yes. Hey, Jill gets out of the
Yeah, always. You know that.
Hey, not only this, you guys, and we're going to get into our main topic too, but I'm just worried about what's going on in this world. It's a lot going on that we're ignoring, or not to say ignoring, but being distracted with other things. Okay, now I know if you guys have been watching the news, we have what's her name? Pam Bondi, elect Attorney General, and Pete Hegseth. Is that saying right?
Yeah, Pete Hegseth. Yes, Hegseth.
Yeah, Defense Secretary.
Secretary of Defense. Yeah.
Stop. I'm still hungry.
Secretary of
I see you hungry. Yeah.
Of Defense.
As of right now, they're both nominees. They have not been
I'm
confirmed yet.
gonna hit y'all up with a couple of videos real quick or whatever, so you see what
we got to deal with.
Yeah, what we working with.
Let's
all
talk
right?
to her.
All right, here we go.
She do look dumb though. Now you look at her.
Do you have any evidence? Do you have any evidence of election fraud or irregularities in the 2020 election?
So, First Senator.
Yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
First Senator.
Do you have evidence? Yes or no?
First Senator. First Senator. I'm so sorry about the fires to you and Senator Schiff and what you're going through in your states. I have to say that.
I
And
appreciate
think
that,
all
but
of
my
our
clock is
I'll
ticking, and
answer
I
your
wanna
question. All
hear
of our
your answer.
hearts go out to everyone in California for what you're facing right now. I'm glad you asked the question.
Let me pause right there. I had to pause right there, you guys. And the reason is, do you see how she reflect
She
from
deflected.
answering?
Yeah, that's what they do though.
How she deflect from answering?
So she might be good for
A
the
real
job.
solid. No, that shit ain't good, dog. That shit ain't good.
That's all the hell they do anyway.
That's example. No, that's just an example of what they're going to do
Terrible.
when the shit hits the fan.
Of course, terrible. That
You know
shit
what I
was-
mean? When they get in, when they do some terrible shit, or whatever that's going to happen. This is how she's going to fucking act. This is
She
how
did it so poised though. It was,
yeah.
hey, it was, hey, you don't even need training for that kind of shit.
Man.
For real.
All right, let me go back.
Question about Pennsylvania.
It's
I
a
was
yes or no
hoping
question.
I was
Do you
hoping
have evidence,
someone
yes or
would.
no?
Senator, I was hoping you'd ask the question.
Do you have
I
evidence, yes or no?
I traveled to Pennsylvania.
Do you have the
I
evidence, yes
traveled,
or no?
Senator, to Pennsylvania.
Okay, you're not answering my question. If you have no evidence to offer, let me ask you this. Will you now retract your previous statements that Trump won Pennsylvania in the 2020 election, yes or no?
Oh, Senator, I traveled to Pennsylvania, and let me tell you what I saw firsthand.
Yes or
no?
no?
I didn't talk about California because I was not in California. I talked about.
Yes or no? Last time I'm going to ask.
I talked about Pennsylvania because
Mr.
I was
Chair,
there.
I'm going to move on because
You
she's
got a
clearly not
court
answering my
order
questions. And
to
I want to know,
observe.
colleagues, for everybody, members of the committee and everybody watching, that the attorney who stood beside Mr. Giuliani was making very similar statements. And he has since been disbarred from multiple jurisdictions for making these false claims about the 2020 election in court. And like Mr. Giuliani, as you've noted today, you've taken an oath to uphold the Constitution just as an attorney.
Right.
And now you're asking us to consider you to serve as the chief law enforcement officer in our country. So it's imperative, Ms. Bondi, that you subscribe to facts and evidence and not politically convenient conspiracy theories. Your job will be, your job will be to protect voters and election workers, not to undermine and dox them. Move on to a different topic.
Okay.
She seems like she on something. That's the problem for me, because when a person is speaking to you and you, no matter how highly intelligent you want to appear, you know how to answer the question and give the correct answer. But when you are up in the clouds, you stay in the clouds.
The problem is she was never going to answer that question.
No, and that's
because anybody that knows that anybody that is that's up for nomination by Trump, they are not going to say anything to upset Daddy Trump. So that's the bottom line. They're not going to say anything that is correct and legal and right.
Yeah, well, she'll be like Giuliani. She'll be disbarred eventually, because the thing is this: you want to be in something, you're trying to be cute and do all of that stuff, but that is not going to work when you're sitting there in front of people that know the law, understand the law, and they're the ones that you're asking to give you a stamp of approval for the position you're going up for. It's the most craziest thing. And the fact that she's just sitting there drinking water is like, girl, this is not a game. Like, you don't realize this is real life. You're talking about other people's lives that you're going to be responsible for, that, that your president and VP them are going to be talking to you about things that will affect the way people live. So yeah, she's out of here.
The problem is she's going to get appointed. Every single one of them are going to get appointed because they have the votes.
Yeah, well, guess what? And that's fine. But the reality is this: every single one of them can end up like plenty of them ended up in the end after the 4 years was up. So then he'll have the opportunity to to give them a get out of jail free card if he chooses to. But everybody's going to get hit. This is what people need to understand. Anyone that is sitting there with him right now, before this is over with, everybody is going to get hit. It's the same thing that happened when he was here the last 4 years. People don't realize he knows absolutely nothing about politics. He's never been in a political seat ever. People voted for him because, one, he was talking about, you're fired. It was a game.
Mm-hmm.
So they got caught up in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he becomes president, they're still caught up in the game because he's still acting like the tyrant that he acts like on the reality show. So now we shouldn't be surprised. We already know what he's about. He hasn't been about anything the first 4 years. Why are you thinking he's going to be about something now? So the only thing that he could really do probably is to keep the Chinese and Russian them in one little place because they like him. He plays with them. They like his attitude and the way that he tries to be on the level that
because they can control him.
Yeah, but
that's why they can control him. They know the easiest way to get to him is to flatter him and talk about how good he looks or talk about how strong he is, and then they go behind his back and they laugh.
Exactly, but you know
so
what?
That's the point. They can control him. They that's what the problem is.
But you know, Trump is like Chucky. That joker, if he gets really hot because people are not playing fair with him, he's going to show his card where he, shows up in a way that, they're not expecting. But the reality is right now, there's no need for, I just think we already know what he's about. So we shouldn't walk around being, we shouldn't be sitting there tripping, having conversations about him every day.
Nobody's surprised. Like I said, he won because a lot of people just didn't vote. A lot of people stayed home. That's the problem. A lot of people stayed home over Gaza. They stayed home over a bunch of different things, and so they were like, you know what? We're just not even going to vote. If you look at the voter turnout for this election, it was pathetic.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah.
And so basically, the man won, but he won just by all his he got his base out to vote.
Just waiting on you, Doug.
And that was. You okay over there, Few? What's going on? IT man done lost again, Dr. C.
I'm telling you. One of these days, we're gonna have somebody in the board and
somebody gonna be messing up, man.
You know what? Seriously, no. There's an outlet right here that I told the guy to fix over a month ago, and so he's supposed to be at fixed it, and it's the first time I tried it, and then see what happened.
And it wasn't fixed.
So that's what's up, man. My bad.
Okay. Hey.
Anyway, we're back.
Yep.
Boys, for February coming up.
Life is good. But yeah, I think we just don't need it. I think in this next 4 years, we don't need to give a lot of attention to him because he thrives off of attention. That's his button. So if we as people in this country do what we're supposed to do, regardless of who's sitting and doing what. I mean, Elon and all of them, they're great business guys. That's what they do. They're successful because of that. So maybe not. They can do something that will help boost the economy based off of some information or new technology that they may have. But
the economy was fine. It was going in the right direction.
Yeah.
But now it's not going to.
Yeah, but guess what? So over this next year, because he's just now coming into getting his feet wet, over this next year, anything that was planted before him is still going to follow through. So he'll be taking credit for that. But
of course, yeah,
we have to definitely stop giving him so much attention and stop bugging out about what he does or does not do.
I totally agree.
At the end of the day, if you on your grind and you're doing what you need to do and you're taking care of your family and your job is good, like let's not get out there and start tripping out because somebody else is losing their mind or because they talking about they're a Trump person. Be Trump. Be whoever you want to be. But the reality is this: at the end of the day, Trump ain't coming for you. Even know your name, he ain't even thinking about you. So you still gotta live in reality. Getting stuck on what he does or his antics. Hey, that's all for show.
And like they said, they use a lot of things, like you were talking, like Phil said, they use a lot of things as distraction.
Yeah.
And like they said, we have the federal government paying more attention to freaking TikTok than what's really going on in this world. I don't give a look. I'm not on TikTok. I don't use TikTok. The reasons I don't use it are not not the ones that they want to try to say. You know,
Right.
they want to say it's the Chinese government and communist stuff like that. No, I'm not on it because to me, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. To me, TikTok is basically crack for your brain. These people don't understand how addicted they are to TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? People are really hardcore addicted to
I
TikTok.
can't go sleep watching shit myself, so I know
Exactly,
it is.
exactly.
You watch it?
Huh?
I
I
know.
watch it. I'm always watching something on there because I end up, either bored. That's the only thing I do.
You
Like
go
when
down
I'm
that rabbit
here, go to
hole,
bed,
and when you
go
down
down
that
that
rabbit hole, it starts showing you everything you like. You be like, ah, man,
and then they start bringing the same stuff up or whatever. Oh yeah, for sure.
And so the reason
that's fact.
I never got TikTok and I never will is for me, it's because if you people need to look at, and this TikTok in China is educational. It shows kids things about education. It's not like the TikTok here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not brain rot. It's not BS.
Yeah, but I think the US is just thirsty for to be, to be seen, to be a star. I think social media, especially with COVID, has made it seem like it's the best thing to be in the limelight, to have all these people having eyes on you and following your life and doing all of that. So in the United States, we've made it where people cannot figure out reality from fantasy. And so they're constantly on something because they feel that they need to, or they want to see what the next thing is. But like you said, over in China, them other places, they're using it for educational reasons because they're adding education to it so that kids can easily access it. And they're getting paid off of that, whoever's doing it.
And that's why their kids are smarter than ours. Our kids can't write in cursive. Our kids can't. They have no financial literacy. They have nothing because they get caught in this TikTok pablum and all this other stuff. And it's just, I mean, my daughter will sit there for hours.
And y'all, there's something else that you guys are not actually recognizing either. You're not recognizing that the fact that they're trying to set women back generations too. That's why he has this dumb dip chick in office. You have somebody, Secretary of Defense, that's going to be that's basically a criminal himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got criminals.
Yeah.
And then an attorney that's going to be able to put up, take up for him.
Hegseth is basically the same as Trump. Hegseth is basically a hardcore Trump. He cheated on every wife that he had. He knocked up another woman while he was still married, but people don't care about that no more.
Then you look at what's the guy the guy that's running with Trump?
The vice president,
JD Vance.
Yes. He's an asshole just as well.
Yeah, well, the funny thing for me.
These are all things. If you look at the hearings in the meetings that they be having, and you see even the white women are trying to get so cocky or whatever. She asked old girl, I forgot the whole conversation, but she asked her, she was asking her, hey, you want to take it outside?
No, that was somebody else.
No, I know. No, this was in the speaker's house.
It was in the committee. It was Nancy Mace, who is the congresswoman, and it was Jasmine Crockett, who was from Texas, and they got into an argument at a panel, and she was like, "We could take it outside."
Who said that?
Yeah, but did you see?
Mace.
Yes, but did you see that they tried to deflect the fact that she was wrong by saying, "Can we take? Let's take it outside. We can take it outside."
So the chairman of the committee actually did.
They try to talk around the whole thing as if, that's just what did he say? Lift. What did he call it?
He called it like a threat of violence. He basically tried to play it off like it wasn't nothing. Now, if Jasmine had said that, it would have been all hell would have broke loose.
Exactly.
Look, and
And, you know, and
Jasmine put out Jasmine from Houston. Nancy don't want them problems. Nancy don't want them hands. And back at JD Vance, bro. JD Vance is a simp.
Yeah.
He's
of
a
course.
simp. Period.
All of these people are in there to be the puppets.
He's a simp.
The puppets to do whatever the hell that they
Well,
trying to get
hopefully,
done or whatever.
at the end, Trump won't put a hit out on them. Yeah.
No, look, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what's more likely to happen.
If anything, he's going to have him do
No,
his
what's
dirty
more
work.
likely to happen is Trump will pass away in office and JD Vance will be promoted to president.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen is they can control JD Vance where they can't control Trump.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I promise you that.
Look, I'm
Just
saying
said
something.
J.D. Vance
Trump
needs
is
to
not
talk
passing.
to me. I can't see him in a leadership role. That's what Jill said.
Yeah.
Trump is not passing at all, y'all.
Mhm.
I honestly, y'all, I always, me being a history guy, I kind of chuckle at this kind of stuff because I think we get the chance to see the reality of what we've been living for the last 50 years, y'all. I think that the microscope is so much on Trump. It's being the scene like he's just the only one that's ever done this absurdness, right? We've been seeing this thing repeat itself year after year. The difference between Trump and everybody else is he don't glaze it over, right? He just give it to you raw and straight, however it pop out his retarded brain. You feel what I'm saying? But most of the time, that's why I laughed about the lady. Most of the time, you get our future attorney general, the spin, right? It's like they never really answer the questions. They never really go towards the problems or address the issues, and they spend it and they spin it and they spin it. That's why I said, well, really, she perfect for the damn job. Now I use it as a joke, but this is what's been happening for the last 20 to 30.
We can't just ignore
years.
that shit. That's the thing.
But
We're
the
looking
issue
at it
is,
as a
it's
joke, and
only
we say that's okay, but that shit ain't okay.
The issue that I have with it is it's only because people don't like Trump. This has been going on, y'all.
It's only because people don't like Trump.
Everybody's eyes are glued to what's going on, right? Everybody's eyes is glued. Now everybody's ears is popped because he's been saying a lot of shit that don't nobody like. But if you've been looking at the last 20 to 30 years, except for Obama, ain't shit changed, bro. These people have been spinning. They have been screwing the people who've been voting
let me
for
tell you
them.
something. Let me tell you something.
They just allowed 75,000 policies
listen
to be
though.
canceled, bro.
Listen.
And we talk about bullshit.
There have been changes. Don't. You can't sit us back 30 years like ain't nothing changed.
I'm not saying that ain't nothing changed, but they've been still doing the same.
No, this is the thing. This is the thing. The things has been changing to the point now they're not liking what those changes are, and they're figuring out other ways to try to set us back. Period.
I agree with
Just
that,
like
but they've been setting us back systemically. People got all mad about affirmative action. Affirmative action ain't been in effect in the last 15 to 20 years. What are we talking about? I want to understand what we've been talking about lately, people.
Yeah.
They've been screwing us.
Just said sometimes I don't even know where to begin talking about politics because everything is so upside down and irrational.
I agree.
I don't understand how people don't see it. It is.
It's been that way,
exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
It's been
Jill.
that way
It's kind of like
before Trump got in office.
it's been that way, yes, but as the cockiness, as the way that things are coming out now, and no give a shit, just like old girl talking to the black chick or whatever, any kind of way, just like this attorney on here, you know what I'm saying, avoiding questions, just like what's the name, he avoid the questions. They ask him just bluntly, straight out, yes or no questions. Can't answer it.
The CIA been selling cocaine for the last 40 years. What we talking about? I just want to be
what
honest,
do you think
right?
is in medication?
No, I just want to be honest. What are we talking about?
Alcohol, tobacco, what the hell?
I'm talking
I mean, the whole world's in fucking.
The
Yeah, but
CIA is the
this is-
reason the Mexican cartel even has the plug. You want to be honest?
Well,
No, what I'm saying is, I mean, for me, And what Fat Boy is saying, a lot of this stuff has been going on for a long time. The reason why it's so amplified now is because we get a person that had never been in politics ever that
You don't know how
came
to spin.
in, and because of his reality show that made him popular, and he did this for a joke. He did it for a joke. He didn't do it because he was really wanting to be president. He ended up being the president because it was a joke, and people were going after Hillary because of what her husband's done. So now you put somebody in an office that's never sat in a governor's seat. He's never sat in as a mayor. He's never been a councilman. He's never done anything in politics, but
No.
he's managed to be the clown on TV. You're fired. And so when you put him in there, he speaks to all the people that's living up in the woods and never come down, and they're doing their thing in them back streets and countries that they living their life. But you get somebody that to them they identify with. Why? Because he has all of these little racist tendencies. You know, he's making them feel like they're more important, and he's speaking to them. So we get upset. And that's my whole thing today. I had this conversation. I don't have time to be tripping off of what Trump thinks he's going to do, because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. We, those that are in our right mind, need to figure out, how do we stay calm? How do we keep moving? How do we make things happen? How do we help boost the economy that's going to help in our communities? We can't sit here and listen to the people in the White House sit up batting about nothing, and then nothing gets resolved. And guess what? Then they'll say, okay, the government's closed. So now guess what? Government closed for 3 to 6 months.
Yeah. Well, look at the advances that we do make. The very events, every time there's an event, just like you just said, how Altadena have more black people with wealth or whatever in those areas. What they do? What happens? They burn it down. You know, just like Black Wall Street. What do?
But
They
we
burn it down.
cannot,
You know,
as people of color, continue to regurgitate.
but I'm not going to sit here and
No,
ignore that it's
it's not
happening.
about ignoring Stephen. But the reality is this: you can only do so much. All 4 of us can only do so much when it comes to making sure that we speak up, or we say what we need to do to be positive about positive change within our communities and what we're going to do. We don't have the pockets to absolutely change things the way they need to.
I disagree.
You know,
We got like a $4 trillion buying power.
but
I
the
think
reality is we may have
supposed to
that,
go.
but until people understand really how it affects change, it doesn't do anything. So we can have it, but you got to understand that when you have that kind of power, how to use the power to effectively affect change. We don't have that, and we don't have anybody that look like us that is standing up to a lot of these people to say, hey, I got just as much as you have. And if I'm sitting in that position where I have, and I know that I can get things moving, guess what? Let me do that for what's going on here in the United States. Because everybody wants to run. Now everybody got dual citizenship in Africa. They decide that, okay, Trump is here, I'm leaving. I got dual citizenship over in Africa. I'm going someplace else to live, and I'll come back to do business when I need.
And they half-ass don't understand Africa anyway. Neither.
So the reality is people that are from here that have the power to help move things decide that I'm not going to sit here and deal with this. I'm going to go someplace else and spend my money and live my life the way I want to and not be concerned. That's the stuff we get dumped on by a lot of our own people who have some power to help move the needle, and they just decide not to.
Yeah.
We've discussed this over and over and over and over again. We as a people will not work together.
That's our
that is
problem.
the problem. That is the problem. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Other cultures will work together.
Absolutely.
We will not. But once again, that's by design.
Willie Lynch story.
And unfortunately, until we as a people break out of the matrix, it's not gonna change.
And I
not gonna
want to
change.
say something too.
One more thing and hurry up so
I
we can get to
wanted
the.
to say, I wanted to say this as well. Every
dear brother,
time
I mean,
people do try, we could do history and blackness.
Yeah.
Every time people do go to attack the powers, like your P. Diddy's, because the real people don't know why he really in jail, right? But
Oh, I know, but go
a lot
ahead,
of times when these black people do stand up against the power structure,
You got
you
to
get you uppy, but no, we as black people be the first one to down our own people when they're going through something as well, right? It goes
crabs in a barrel.
So,
I told you that.
instead
Crabs
of
in a
looking
barrel.
at on why they attacked P. Diddy, we just call him freaky ass Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And we knew it was going to happen. But hold on.
No, because we do know why.
But no,
it's not like we don't know why.
But that's a huge.
But you
reason
still put yourself as a black man in that position to be able to come from them, though.
That's still a huge reason why they're able to do that. They did the same thing to Bill Cosby. They killed his son when he tried to buy NBC. Then when he tried to buy it again before Universal took it over, they put out the Me Too movement. Right? Yes, he was at the Playboy Mansion, but everybody was at the Playboy Mansion. Yes, yes, Diddy was having freak offs, but everybody in Hollywood was having freak offs. But I think that.
Hold on, we got to get this real quick. Marlon said my 4 for $4 at Wendy's is now the $7 biggie bag. I need answers. This is preposterous. This is preposterous. Marlon, I'm with you 100%, man. How they gonna go up $3? My 4 for $4 was hit.
It was hit.
Man, why y'all talk about food, man? Don't quit talking about food, man. Let's get into South. Let's get into
history and blackness.
History and blackness, man.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
Hey,
hey,
$7 biggie bag. What the hell?
All right, we
history of blackness, my man.
History of blackness, y'all. We got a special one again. If I can get it, there it is. All right, I'm ready. Today we have history of blackness with Jane Matilda Boland, born April 11, 1908, passed away January 8, 2007. She was a pioneering American attorney and judge, celebrated for her groundbreaking contributions to law and education. Born in Poughkeepsie, New York, she was the daughter of Gus C. Boland, a distinguished lawyer and the first Black graduate of Williams College. Matilda Ingram Emery, an immigrant from British the Isles. Boland graduated from Wesley College in 1928 and undeterred by racial and gender barriers, became the first Black woman to earn a law degree from Yale Law School in 1931. In 1939, at the age of 31, Boland was appointed by Mayor Firola LaGuardia as a judge of New York City domestic relations.
That's Fiorella LaGuardia.
That's what
LaGuardia.
Fiorella LaGuardia as a judge of the New York City Domestic Relations Court, making her the first Black female judge in the United States. During her nearly 4-decade tenure, she implemented significant reforms, including interrogation and prohibition services and child welfare agencies, ensuring equitable treatment regardless of race or religion. Beyond the bench, Boland was an advocate for children's rights and education, serving on the boards of NAACP, the National Urban League, and the Child Welfare League. Her legacy endures, a testament to her dedication to justice and equality.
Get some love for Jane Boland. That's what's up with history of blackness, man. You always bring the judge.
That's good.
And say that again for me.
You always.
Fiorella LaGuardia.
What? No, it's Fiorella LaGuardia. That's what the airport was named after him. LaGuardia Airport. Yeah.
Lift it so. He's so smart.
That's why I love black men.
And Poughkeepsie, New York. Yeah.
All right, man.
Poughkeepsie.
Let's get into this next topic, man. Are you or are we taking the proper steps to be our best selves financially?
No, end of story. Let's go.
Did you say end of story?
No.
Shut up, man. Oh, we're taking the proper steps to be our best selves. Who wants to start? Who want to go? Who want to go?
You go, because you the one that always have this issue. So let's go.
Wow. Wow. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Come on.
I am taking proper steps to be the best me.
Okay, count it off. Tell us.
Okay. Emotionally.
Okay, talk to him.
Emotionally. Well, no. I'm gonna start spiritually.
Come on, spiritually, brother.
Because spiritually.
Because you're doing something spiritually.
There you go.
Come on now. Come on now. You're doing something spiritually.
I mean, seriously. I mean, spiritually, because I have advanced into getting more involved with my spirituality personally, and my personal relationship with God. You know what I mean? So that definitely is something that I've been working on, because there's things that sometimes I get distracted, to the point where, when God has blessed me about something, I ends up, like thinking, oh, shoot, I'm all good. And then I forget and stray on to something else. And then I need him again.
Right.
I'm working on that part of consistently having him in my life, having him, when I wake up, when I go to sleep, what I'm saying? Just being consistent with that, spiritually. Now, emotionally, because I ain't got no love.
Okay, LL Cool J.
He all over the place.
Hey.
No, emotionally, I think because of spiritually trying to get more connected is helping me more emotionally.
Okay.
As to bringing around people, being surrounded by people with the same what's the word?
Mindset.
Mindset, exactly, with the same mindset. Even with at work, what I'm saying, when I go to work, for those, I don't let the devil intimidate me. I don't let, and I only talk to those that basically can even feel where I feel. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. How you relate with people that basically is in the same space that you're in. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like where I am, and I kind of keep to myself. Now, financially, woohoo! Hey, I just bought a car. Shoot, so I'm doing all right.
All right. Shout out for real.
But financially though, I still need a lot of work. I still need to work because I do. I'm not the greatest with budgeting.
Gotta get.
I hate budgeting because of the fact that when I want something, I want it, and I do it. I just do it, and then I don't think of the repercussions later of my finances or whatever, to the point. And I'm bad with that. You know what I'm saying? And I seriously pray to God that he would bring the right woman in my life that can handle that for us. When we was talking about what was it? Fat Boy Standards.
Standards.
Yeah, that's the standards.
That's one of your standards.
That's one of my standards. Okay. She has to be able to, financially be, yes, exactly. You know what I mean? So that's, so I'm working on myself. I am working on those steps. Absolutely. Miss Cotton.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Jump on in there. I'm gonna go after you, brother. Go ahead. Shoot, where we gonna start at? I would definitely say yes. I am taking it. Let's answer the question first, right? I'm definitely going to say, yes, I am taking the proper steps to be my best self. What I've been starting with, number one, is just emotional intelligence, man, and becoming comfortable with being me. Me and Black Liv gave me some jewels after I got out of my relationship. And he really was like, this is really your time to kind of focus on you and get you together. And I think that's just really what I've been doing. So financially, I've started my investment account. I'm in the process of creating my own website and creating some cash flow. I'm also changing my conversation about finances. I'm also getting into my own habits of budgeting and paying bills on time. Spiritually, I'm making sure that every morning I wake up within my workout, right, health-wise as well. I read my scriptures, my daily scriptures through the Bible, but I also have started the Bible from Genesis, and I'm already at 2 Samuel. Now I've started the the New Testament and I'm at Mark already. And so I've just been kind of working on my spiritual guidance, continuing to get mentorship through my pastor, and then emotionally therapy. I'm like 2 years into therapy. And then what I think the biggest part of what I've learned in this is learning how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I think that's how I'm learning how to be my best self. Because what I've learned through this journey is that when I'm uncomfortable, I'm growing. I think prior to this, and I was dealing with a lot in my relationship, when I would become uncomfortable, I would think the walls were closing in on me and wasn't understanding that that was when the real growth was actually happening. And so what I've done now, and like we were talking about in therapy, but one of the things we're talking about in therapy is kind of embrace being comfortable with being uncomfortable and loving yourself and handling yourself with grace despite of. So financially, spiritually, and emotionally, I've been using each of them to basically run off of each other. Right. I've been making sure my spirit's right to navigate through my emotions, which is allowing me to fight and make sure my finances are where in a space that they need to be. Because I think that if there's not a combination, if you're not proactively addressing all three, I think that you'll fall by the wayside in one of them. So I think that there's a certain level of attentiveness and attention that each section has to be paid, or attention has to be paid to those three categories for you to be your best self.
Come on. Who's next? Don't talk to me.
No, you
Dr. C.
Well, for me, I'm always taking steps. I'm constantly doing an inventory. At any time, because some life changes, things are different. You start out one way and then something else happens. But then when the tests come, that's when you have to really dig deep, and digging deep means that you have to realize that whatever your test may be or whatever you're going through is not to kill you, it's to make you stronger. But there's also life lessons in those tests. So you got to figure out, what's my nugget that I can take away from this? And the nugget is not necessarily for you as much as it may be for somebody else that you come in contact with. So I've learned how to take the negative things and turn it into positive, because I need to get whatever I need to get out of it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be going through it. I think I've always been good with, financially with whatever I had. I'm not a big spender. I take care of the things that need to be taken care of, and definitely trying to, in this season, this year, to financially be an overflow.
Come on now.
That's the goal.
That.
Financial overflow in 2025. So that's, whatever strategic strategies God give me, whatever it is that I'm working on, people that I'm working with, what can be done. And then not buy. If you don't need stuff, don't buy it.
Come on now.
Because you really, if you think about it, you just
I always feel like I need it though. That's the problem.
You don't. If you really
and I don't need it. That's the problem.
But and then if you think about it, and you ask yourself, do I really need this? Oh, it may look nice or it may have something, but you got to think about, if I do this, what am I giving to somebody else? So if you get something, then you got to look at what you have and give a lot of that away for the one thing that you're trying to get. Because you're adding stuff to what you have, and you're really doing nothing with it. If you think about it, a lot of times when we purchase stuff, especially when it comes to clothes and shoes, it would be a couple of months before we were that stuff on.
It's all temporary.
And now it's just sitting there, or you realize, oh, you forgot that it's in your closet. It's still got a tag on it, and you haven't worn it. So it's just one, declutter what you can declutter so that you don't have all of that. But if you think about it, when you're wanting something, you ask yourself, do I really need it? And the answer, if it's no, then just walk away. It's nice to look. It's nice to, do all of that. But if it's not, if it ain't adding value to it, don't spend.
True.
You only want to, and have things that's a necessity for you in this season because there's so many things going on. And if we really think about it, back in the back in the day, the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, their closets was as big as a bathroom.
I know, right?
A small 2 by something. But if you think about it, a little hall closet that you may have in your house, that's how big their closets were. So they didn't have a lot of things that they were holding on to. They didn't do that. They worked hard. They came home, they recycled clothes that they had, and they kept it moving. But they didn't get into the whole fanfare of all the things that they can accumulate and keep. And then spiritually, it's just staying in tune. So what I do in the morning, I get up and I have a prayer with my sister, and we do this every morning. And then there's meditation for me. I started listening to Miles Monroe. He has some awesome motivational things to listen to that just will enlighten you and encourage you throughout the day. And so doing those things, one, it keeps your mind healthy. Two, you're staying positive instead of thinking on things that doesn't make sense. And then the other thing for me is in this season, I'm doing me. But not only am I doing me in this season, I am not being and hanging around people that cannot help me elevate.
Come on now.
Exactly.
I agree.
I'm not wasting time anymore with people that can't help me elevate to where I need to go, because I can't always be the one helping others elevate.
Exactly.
So in this season, I'm going to be a little more stingy about me and what I do and where I put my time for other people, and ask God to send the right people to help me elevate to where he's taking me so that I can keep it moving.
Cool. That's what's up. Go on here. What Ed?
So let me go ahead and read this comment from
sir.
my lovely wife.
I was going to suggest that.
She says, I regularly self-analyze and try to be the best version of myself I can be. I get closer, but I'm pretty sure I'm taking that journey to the grave, as I will never be perfect. And she hit that one on the head, because what a lot of people fail to realize or fail to understand, that we all living to die. Nobody makes it out of this life alive. You know what I'm saying? That's just common sense. Financially, had some setbacks, having some setbacks, but my issue is, and I talked to my wife about this earlier, the half empty and half full. You know what I'm saying? Some things may go bad, but to hell with that. I got a roof over my head. I got food I can cook. I got a place to, you know what I'm saying? I got everything I need right now, right in front of me. I got my family. I got the love of my life. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of stuff that people need to understand when it comes to this financial stuff. Money's gonna come and go. Money is going to come and go. And so it's just up to you. And like my wife said in the next one, well, money is just a tool. You know what I mean? It's a means to an end. She says, I'm the opposite. I have money trauma and I hate spending money. It makes me have a physical reaction, so that's not good either. So that's why I love her.
For real.
Money is not the meaning of life, but just a tool. It's a tool well used. And once people understand that, they will be so much better off. Now, me personally, I'm starting to understand that even more. But as I said, I don't look at the negative. I look at the positive things in my life. I don't look at what I don't have. I look at what I have.
Come on now.
And that's the way that I rock with that. My spirituality, everybody's relationship with a higher power is theirs. And theirs alone.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Am I spiritual? Yes, I'm spiritual. There are some things that I believe. There are other things that I don't. But what I say is, your relationship, as long as you have a spirit, as long as you have some kind of spirituality and you understand that there is something or someone that guides you every day, that is the key.
All that matters.
That is the key. Because like I said, there's so many different religions. Who am I? And I understand, people that are Christians will kind of hate me for this, but who am I to presume that God is that blonde hair, that blonde hair, blue-eyed dude. Or there are other religions that say, their God could be an elephant with 6 arms. You know what I mean? None of us knows. And when we find out, we'll be dead.
That's true.
So I'm like, my spirituality is my spirituality, and I just choose to be that way. And I live by the credo: don't be an asshole.
That part.
Just don't be a dick to people. If you just live your life and be a good person, just do that. If everybody could just concentrate on that, we as a world would be so much better and so much better off.
Read that last one, Jill, just sir.
I heard this once and it stuck with me. We can see God in our past. We can see him in our present, but we forget to see him in our future. So we worry and stress.
100%.
Come on now. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
exactly. And look, like I said, we do our own thing. And like I said, I pray over every meal because to me, it is a blessing. And sometimes, we'll be out as a family and they have me do the prayer for everybody. But once again, everybody has their own relationship, and like I said, just don't be an asshole.
And that's the thing. That's one thing I don't do is judge how people have their spirituality. I don't judge them. It's kind of like, because if you look at it all the way around, it's a positive energy that you're trying to accomplish within your life or whatever to move further, forward in your life. So, who am I to judge? Like, well, you do this and you doing that or whatever. Yeah, but you drinking and this is your spirit. Okay, whatever. That's what makes you feel good and rock with it. Go and rock with it.
And as a Christian, you're supposed to love thy neighbor, no matter if they're a Buddhist, if they're this, if they're that. So if you're going to rock with that, then rock with it.
Let's just take Christian out of it. How about humanity?
Humanity.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's at the end of the day, being human is the one thing that we have to understand. We're all human. We're not going to do everything the right way. And there are things that we've done that we didn't like or agree with, and we're still here. So if I'm looking for grace,
I got to give people grace.
I got to be able to,
you have to
extend that. If I'm looking
to a certain point,
if I'm looking for mercy, then I got to be willing to give that. So we can't be passing judgment. I mean, everybody has whoever you feel that you need to talk to, who you're praying to, whatever that is for you. If you are doing what you need to do for yourself to be the best version of you, then you do that.
Exactly.
But the reality is this. Let's take all the stuff about being a Christian out of it, because we all know those that have our own relationships with God, or people calling the universe is still the same person. The spirit man is still the same person.
Yep.
You're doing all of that.
Higher
We're
power.
still praying to the same higher power. We still talking to the same person who created this whole thing. Just have your relationship with him, because he's looking for us to be able to come to him one-on-one. He ain't looking for us to be doing and talking crazy. Just do what you do to be good. And when you do good,
and if that's what it takes for you, to make it through the day, whoever you need to talk to make it
when I say
and
I'm looking at you, I need to know that if I'm looking at you and I need to see what grace looks like with him, I got to see it in you. When I want to see what unconditional love looks like with him, I got to be able to see that in you. And that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be the light for the people that are here that may not understand or don't know or don't have a relationship with God the way they should. Whatever we doing, we should always shine. And when people see you shining, then they're like, oh, whatever he got or she got, I want that.
They won't. Exactly.
Facts.
That's what's up, man. Thanks for sharing, you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
I'm probably getting all the comments up in here. I'm gonna shout out real quick on Facebook. I see Jen, Pamela, Leilani, I see you, Pepper White, I see you, Adrian AD, I see y'all. Thanks for joining us, and join in on the conversation, you guys, if y'all want to join in. Let's get into dear brothers and dear sisters, and it's kind of almost what
essentially the same.
Yeah. Are you in a position emotionally to allow women to properly love you?
Dear brothers, this is for the brothers.
Or man, Dr. Kyle.
That's for both.
No, I
That's for
honestly,
both.
I personally thought I
No,
wanted
let
to.
Dr.
For
Kyle.
Dr. Kyle,
Yeah.
I personally wanted to address this to the fellas because I think that it's harder for men, right? I think that because men struggle with vulnerability, you know, everybody doesn't have the skill set that Black Lives has, right? No, all jokes aside, men, we struggle with levels of vulnerability and understanding how to allow a woman to love us. And I wanted to pose this question. Black Liv is going to be able to answer this question a little different than me and you, right? I think because he understands more because he's he's had his experience as prior to his marriage, but he's living in a marriage that's challenging, right, for different aspects, and he understands on how to allow his woman to love him and vice versa. So this is for the brothers and sisters, but I definitely wanted the men to kind of take the time to really let this question sink in and say, are you taking the proper steps to allow these women to love you? Because I know that at one point in time, I wasn't, right? And I think a clip came across my page the other day where he was saying that he had that one woman, but he fumbled her. And essentially because, and I'm not comparing this to me, I'm just saying just men in general, essentially because he didn't know how to be loved. When he laid his head on her shoulder and she began to rub and caress his head, he immediately popped up because of that level of vulnerability that he expressed with her. And I want fellas to understand, if you're dealing with a woman that's your wife, there's a level of vulnerability. There's a level of understanding that you have to have with your wife or with your woman. So go ahead and I want you to slap him over the head first, Black Liv, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slide this thing home.
I mean, it's once again, you make a great point. And one of the things that you were talking about that we had talked about before is that if you're not a good single, you're not going to make a good couple.
Yep.
You have to be able to be alone.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't be alone, then you don't need to be with somebody else, because basically that's your crutch.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? You don't need that. Now, as far as me, you know, the way I look at it, I messed up in my first marriage, and people, you know, like I said, I told y'all, look, I cheated, I did all kinds of craziness. So the one thing that I do is I don't fully blame my ex-wife. There were things that I did that made that difficult. Okay. And unless you admit that to yourself, you'll never be able to progress. You know what I'm saying? So like Fat Boy, you know, your last relationship, you can't blame that all on her because y'all were together. So therefore, you played a big part in that.
Phil don't like that. You see how he
Yeah.
don't like that, y'all. Look at him, get the
Phil, you look.
You knew what I do. You
I-
would know. You just don't know this.
He
part.
knows some insights.
yeah.
Okay, let's go to here.
Okay, regardless. Okay, but anyway, so the way I looked at it, the way
From
I
your
looked at
perspective, where
it.
you are.
So
From
when I got
Texas,
the next
yeah. Okay,
chance,
I got you.
when I got the next chance, I looked at it from the point that I was going to cherish
Sir.
this woman and understand that her ex-husband dropped his dime,
Come
and
on
I'm gonna
now.
pick it up.
Come on now, Black. See?
You feel what I'm saying? And so once people start to understand that you know, you just really have to be able to open up. And part of opening up, Fuel, is copping to
On his age.
What the hell?
is copping to the fact that in
What y'all
every
got going on around here is
relationship,
what I want to know.
in every relationship, everybody does something. It's not always the other person's fault. I mean, not totally
Yeah.
their fault, but it's both y'all's fault. And until you can admit that, how you gonna move forward, my brother?
Well, there's one thing of having fault, but there's one thing of faulting yourself for being who you are.
But maybe who
Listen,
you are
listen,
needs to
no,
grow.
listen,
say that.
no. Rather that
Go
is
ahead.
the fact that who you are needs to grow, but that person knew who you were when they got with you.
No, absolutely not.
No. That yes, you did. I'm talking about what I know. I'm talking about what I know.
I
You
don't
can't
get
tell
this
me
man
no of that.
started, y'all. Please don't get
I'll
this
tell
man
you what I
started.
know. Because this is real facts. This is real facts. One, you never try to play like somebody else.
Absolutely not.
You never try to do it. And this person knew your past. This
Absolutely.
person knew what you've been through. You know, and then this person also knew that what you was working on for yourself.
Absolutely, I agree.
You know, so I can't say no, blame it all. Yes, if it's any blame, it's blame for him being him.
Crazy. Hey, come get your cousins.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, because I
So
know.
let me help you out. Let me help you out.
Please help him out.
Yeah.
This is men and women. You know, when you start dealing with a person, and though you may know all they dirty laundry, sometimes when you got the blinders on yourself because you so wrapped up to the person, you still not seeing all the dirty laundry. Some of it is under the bed, some of it is in the closet, some of it is in the back of your trunk.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
That's
So
a
but the reality that
is it hidden?
but
Is
the
it hidden
reality
laundry?
is,
Is it hidden laundry, or is laundry that you can go up under that bed and pull out and make something up and try to work with the relationship?
You try to justify. Listen to me. Although I see your dirty laundry, don't always mean that I'm accepting that that's what it is. I might think that some of it is clean. So I may not believe it's all dirty. So if in my mind, I have one way of thinking because my perception and how I perceive you to be as a man to me is different than the man that you really have shown me. So this is the problem that we get into when we're dealing with relationships. We looking at people through our own eyes, how we want to see them. We're not really understanding that.
That's a lot in a relationship when that happens, because yes, there's the whole mistake of you wanting to mold the person to who you want them to be.
Yeah, but
and ignoring the signs or whatever there is to try to,
because if I am trying to get you to understand in some way, shape, form, or fashion as a man or a woman that I want you to choose me, then I play to the tune that you're playing. So when
let me tell you this: women all the time have an idea of what they want in their man. And sometimes they actually so sometimes they actually ignore some of the things because they think one, they can fix them, or
they feel like they can change you. Yeah,
I've been through it.
Yeah.
Let me jump on in this
long time.
So, but again, as I said, depending on where the laundry's at,
ain't nobody changing me.
Ain't nobody looking for you. So depending on where the laundry's at, will determine if people are determining if it's clean or dirty. And depending on what they want to see, they're going to see only what they want to see, regardless of what you're telling them. I tell people all the time, when a person tell you who they are, that's who they are. They're not somebody else. They're really that person. But if you decide that you're going to ignore what they're telling you because you want it to be something else, because you have a different perception of the person, then that's on you.
That's my whole point. This man right here was not hiding anything. Now it's how she took it, and with the things that he had going on was what he was fixing for himself.
So let me get into this, y'all. Let me
finish.
Come on in, Jesus. Right. Come on.
So what I'm getting at, when I see this man or whatever, and I know what this person been through, and you tell them, oh, some of it is your fault as well, or whatever the case may be, and that person take blame. If you're taking blame of what you or who you are as to what you was doing to try to grow, yes, take that blame. But it wasn't a shade, it wasn't a screen over what he was trying to do and accomplish to build the relationship that they was trying to build.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
You're very emotional about this.
That's why I said,
But so fuel. When I say take your responsibility. See, when I say take responsibility, fuel automatically, and I'm trying to figure this out in you,
Right.
because
Pull it out.
he go. Wait a minute, listen. He goes straight to 50-50. I ain't said nothing about 50-50. Even if I said, when I say that you take responsibility, that there are certain things that happen in there that you contributed to. And like I said, you jump straight to 50-50, like it's half my fault, half her fault. No, I'm not saying that. Everything is in percentages. It may have been 5% your fault. It might have been 10% your fault, but Phil goes straight to 50-50. I ain't do nothing. I was the greatest man ever. I never did exactly. You know what it was when it was what it was.
I'm first gonna get this comment by Jill. Jill says, we just all need to remember that men and women are different and will express themselves and their needs differently.
Yeah.
We need to pause and reflect before reacting. And so, damn it, Jill. Jill, come on now, Jill. You know what I mean? And she's absolutely right. It goes to Black Lift's point, and it goes to Dr. C's point in taking full accountability. Because where I did make my mistakes is in the way that I chose to communicate certain things, right?
Right.
So I had to take accountability for that so I can change and learn to be patient moving forward.
Right.
Learning to stop, learning to be vulnerable, learning to do and learning to break traditional things. If baby coming home and she tired, your ass can cook something to fucking eat. Period. If baby need help, you can wash some damn dishes or you can fold some clothes. Breaking the traditions and growing up as a man. It was a lot of arguments, or there was a lot of debates that I allowed to happen because I was not emotionally ready, because I did not.
And she may have told you something and you did not respond correctly because you didn't have the mental capacity to be able to respond the right way.
And I have to take accountability for that, because like we've been saying, I had to learn then that when I was uncomfortable, that is when I was growing.
Yeah.
That was when I needed to take the time to really listen. So you're absolutely right. She did know who I was. But you know who didn't know who he was?
You.
I did not, right? Yeah. And so as I begin to grow, I have to take accountability for that.
Right.
But
right?
even
if I continue to blame her, I will never truly grow and be the best man that I can be.
Right.
And so that's why we have these strong debates. That's why I get so passionate about it, because we have really strong debates about this. And I always tell them that the work that I'm doing has nothing to do with her. A lot of the work has to do with me, because if I'm preparing myself to be a husband, right, and to be in a relationship, I cannot enter into the next relationship making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
And a great way to make the same mistakes is to think that the only person who had a problem was her, because she knew who I was when she got me. Right.
Well, it wasn't just a problem with her. It was just the fact that she knew who you was, and she used that to manipulate certain things about you.
Absolutely.
That basically caused the relationship. Caused to open the doors of those things that you were actually going through that you needed to work on.
But
for
who
yourself.
allowed her to manipulate?
No, I'm not saying you didn't allow her to. I'm not saying you didn't allow her to, but that's the way it actually was going, or whatever the case may be. So that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to,
Is that what you want to hear, Phil?
Yeah, I'm being so emotional over there. Lord Jesus.
Y'all understand because me and Fat Boy talked about this.
Yeah, but guess what? But the best thing to do, because Fat Boy is sharing with you all the time, as a friend, listen to me, as a friend, you got to take your emotions out of things because you're watching your friend go through.
Okay, let's go back. Hold on.
So
listen. Did I know? Because when people go there, I like to let them know, as a friend, just like you're saying, I never brought all this up or whatever. Did I ever?
No.
When I seen
no.
this stuff, I let Fat Boy do his
He
thing
did.
or whatever the case may
He
be or
did.
whatever until it was time for us to
Yeah,
talk or
we
whatever.
talked about it.
Phil was listening to respond and did not hear it. Yes, I did. No, I was. I heard exactly what you said.
Dr. C, as soon as you finish, he couldn't wait to jump in. He was
because when you're stating something that I know that I've done, I have to let it know that it's been done. That's why. Yeah, but I listen exactly what it, and it hit. If it hit a trigger point of something that I know that I've done, I'll basically, you know what I'm saying.
So this is the thing.
So my passion is really like now. My passion wasn't really like in it at the time about what was going on with it because I never really talked to him about it. I never really got into him about it or whatever until we had our talk together, you know, afterwards, after the fact. All that.
I will break it down with y'all.
So is it a trigger for you? Because it, you know, it might be a trigger for you with some things you've gone through. So the reality is this.
Feels that I take too much responsibility. That's his real issue. Phil feels that I take too much responsibility for the relationship. Dr. C, she up top now. She up top. I see. No, but Phil feels that I take too much accountability.
No, as a man. So let me say this. Let me say this to you. And I'm gonna help you out because I got 2 young Black brothers that I've raised to be great young men. And as a young man who is around other male that are Black, you have a lot of men in your life, Fat Boy, that are real men.
Yeah, facts.
Married, have had good standings in the community, all of that. A real man, whether he's right or wrong, will always take accountability for what did not happen the right way. And he will go back and he will reassess the situation and address it for himself or make a note of it. Now, he may not ever go back to the persons and say anything because he's already stood up to take accountability for what happened. That's what a real man does. You never have to argue with a woman about who you are as a man. Because if she don't understand who you are as a man and she can't help you grow.
Ray Charles, hit the road, Jack.
That's my point. And you hit it right there on the nose. If she cannot help you grow, he didn't need to be with her because she knew what was going on.
How do you grow if you've never gone through something? So the fact that he's gone through what he's gone through, he knows the difference of what he does like and what he don't like. But he never would have got the nuggets he got and what he's even doing now to go through therapy if he hadn't gone through anything. I need you to go to therapy because something's wrong over here. What's going on?
Exactly what you said is true, but it doesn't exclude the fact
Aziza
of what
said,
happened.
I got stuff to say.
This is what I'm saying.
But I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah. She ain't gonna say nothing.
Jill says, nah, that's just how I am. Is a big red flag for me. I agree, Jill. Go ahead and hit that, Dr. C.
Yeah. Oh, that's just how I am is a way out of continuing to work on yourself and the comfortable stuff Fat Boy was talking about. And the reality is this, you know, when we realize that we are not our best, and Black Lift keeps saying to us, you cannot be a good couple if you're not a good single.
I like that shit.
That is what he has had to learn after the fact or whatever, of course. You know what I mean? And that's what he's working on, whatever. And that's a good thing. It's not, you know, and I'm not saying nothing to take from him for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying from the fact of when I hear someone says that, you know, they're taking accountability. Yes, you can take accountability, but then also the reality of the fact is that person was not taking accountability.
So let me help you out. You know how I mess people up.
Why are you worried about them? You
know how I mess people up. Some of the guys that I've dated.
I'm saying after the fact of the relationship, though. I'm not talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that he doing the right things. Don't get me wrong. He's done the right things. He's taking the right steps. He's doing whatever. That's fine or whatever. And we walking and seeing him go through this journey. We working it with him. You know what I mean? So don't think that I ignore what I'm just saying from our
grown up, y'all.
Yeah. So I'm just saying from our anyway, just if you're right about that. Sometimes women see what they are hoping to see in you.
I agree.
And then
But Phil seems like it to me, and cause I'm gonna put it out there. To me, it feels like you just looking for somebody to be mad at.
Caesar Barry said, "I'm just gonna be quiet."
Like you just won't be mad at her. It's like, I'm sorry, F that.
Thank you, Mark.
That chick.
You stand your
What the hell? No, it wasn't me. It was her. It was all her. I ain't being
I am also fuck that shit.
I know you are. You like, man, F that hoe. What the
you got to be able to read between the lines with Phil because he be on something in his own emotions. He's trying about Fat Boy. But this is the thing. I think as you continue to grow and vulnerability, men being vulnerable for a woman, if a man is vulnerable, it allows her to know that he is willing to put himself out there even when it's very uncomfortable for him. Because a man wants to always be a man and always wants to make sure that whomever they're with, that they know that they got their back. But there are times when a man has a moment and a woman has to be able to cover him and comfort him and be able to speak life into him when he can't see anything.
Exactly.
So, in all of this, again,
if you ain't getting that step.
And the father,
hey, your cousin Black Lip. You gotta get that shirt too.
Hey, Marlon, I'm standing my ground, dog.
He's standing on business. But what I was telling Fat Boy is that, like my wife says, accountability is sexy. And so what Fat Boy understood and understands is that when you accept that accountability, that's you forgiving yourself. And you cannot move on until you forgive yourself. You made mistakes. We all make mistakes, but you have to forgive yourself because you won't be a better person until you learn to forgive yourself and move forward.
What's up, Charlene? Charlene is on Facebook. Marshall's on Facebook. Thank you guys for joining.
I would never forget that when you told me that, I was so damn devastated. I was so fucked up. I was so devastated. And that bit of advice, it was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah, you sucked it up. You was like, okay.
After the months of crying, like you said, when I realized is after I finished crying, the regret was because I was beating myself up because I did not
you forgive yourself,
and I did not forgive myself. As I began to take the accountability, as I began to forgive myself, I started to make adjustments.
Yeah.
Right. And as I began to make adjustments, I start to feel more better about myself. I began I began to love myself more. I began to show myself more grace because I had to realize that I was a human being and I'm not perfect. I was not taught these things.
Right.
And the only way to relearn things is to get a mentor, become a watcher of men, become a studier of real men. And so right now I follow a brother by the name of Jason Wilson, amazing brother, man. And I'm reading this book, The Battle Cries, called Waging the War Within. And the brother, he talks about being a comprehensive man, about aborting your shadow mission, about understanding the deep parts of the feeling wheel, right? Understanding that anger is something deeper, it's shame, it's frustration, it's other things tied to those emotions. Right. And as I begin to unpack those things, as I begin to do my 30 minutes of reading every night, as I begin to get closer to the higher power, as I begin to come on this show and shed my skin, I grow and become a better man.
Right.
I have more knowledge for other young men that come up behind me that don't understand that it's more to provision than money, right? The key part of provision is accountability. A key part of provision is understanding when to be vulnerable and when to be masculine, right? When to be a nurturer, when to be assertive, right? Understanding that being meek is not, or being humble doesn't mean being a coward, right? It's so many tools that I've learned in this time of since Black Live was like, man, you just got the time to work on yourself. And when he said it, I was like, yeah, I don't know, Black Live.
I know. I'm a little lonely right now.
As I start to get more confident in myself, I realized that the same patience that I did not want to show my ex, I show women that I'm just hanging out with, right? Because I realized that I still have to practice that patience.
Yeah.
Right? I still have to learn how to react, to not react, to listen instead of reacting. Right? There's still things that I do as a single man that I did not do when I was in a relationship.
So are you in that position emotionally to allow women to properly love you now with everything going?
I'm definitely working on it. I won't say I'm in full position because I'm still working on the levels of vulnerability, right? And I'm still learning how to be uncomfortable being comfortable with being uncomfortable. So I would say yes, but I still have work to do, and I'm okay with that, right? Because it's like my therapist say, it's okay not to be okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Phil, I need you to post that last one that Marlon just put up. Because I got to touch on that one. Because he said, you know what I find funny? Accountability sounds one-sided at times. Because it is. You can only hold yourself accountable. You can't hold nobody else accountable, brother. You can't browbeat somebody because they're not going to be accountable. You can only take care of yourself. So yes, it is one-sided as it should be.
And we argue about this all the time, right? We talk about this. Me and Marlon talk about this because the reason why they both Fuel and Marlon experience they know me on a different level, and they understand the flows and the things that I go through. But however, in those moments and those challenges, those is what make me a man, y'all. For real.
And that's not
those moments where I was crying, those moments where I was unsure made me find certainty. Made me find clarity, made me stand up and say, well, who am I as a man? Instead of what everyone else thought that I was a man.
Marlon, I'm only 29, give grace on. Marlon, I'm giving you so yes, sir. I'm giving you grace, Marlon, but I'm also dropping these nuggets on your head so that you understand. So that at the age of 29, if you're doing the same shit at 39, you got a problem. And so basically, at 29, when I'm saying this stuff, because nobody gave me this game at 29, I had to learn this stuff myself. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all had to, a lot of people have to learn that stuff themselves. But what I'm here to do is I'm just here to spread it. I'm a giver. And if you take it, cool. If not, so be it.
Yeah. I think when you talk about men being vulnerable, a woman that really honestly cares for and you have this relationship of respect, I think men have to stop expecting women to love them and ask for women to respect them. There's a difference when you're getting respect and a difference when you get love. Respect means that they won't call you out your name. Love, they'll call you out your name and then say they love you.
Why can't have both?
No, because let me tell you something. No,
you have respect and love.
Respect. Look, a woman will, if she respects you as her husband, that means she's willing to follow you in whatever you do to cover that house.
She loves you, right?
Not necessarily.
She better love me.
See,
wait a minute, Dr. Cotton. So Phil right there, that's the problem. Because men will beat the shit out of a woman and say they doing it because they love them.
Yeah.
Where you going with that?
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it's better to have someone to respect you and not love you.
She said respect. I said, why not both? Respect and love.
Because half of the time,
but that was my question, and Liv took it somewhere else. I ain't said nothing.
No, because the way you're looking at love or the way that you post that.
Not say why can't I just if I would have said she should just love me and not and respect and have anything to do with it, then that's one thing. But I said both. Why can't a woman respect you and love you at the same time?
So
to me, love comes down to possession.
Be trying to put it off on me like
okay, whatever. Dr. Cotton, you know what I'm saying. Love comes down to possession. You love your possessions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you should respect your spouse. And yes, can you love them? Yes, but the respect should be
Respect
first.
Okay, well,
means that
let's,
you-
let's say first. You didn't say what's first or whatever.
So-
Anything like that. That's
so
why
this
I
is
said why both.
so let me get
I
in
got
the
to play
Bible.
the devil advocate, y'all, as the show be born.
That's but anyway, so in the Bible tells us that the husband is to love his wife as Christ loved the church, and that the women is to respect their husbands, not love their husbands. Because when you're growing up as a kid, the male figure in your life is your father. So you learn to respect the father, because the father is the one that is being accountable for what happens in the home and making the provision and making sure you're okay. A wife, the way she appears and looks at her father or the male figure in her life, needs to have the same thing for the man she marries. Because when you can respect him, it doesn't matter. You will fall in love.
Yep.
That is a natural thing. But when a woman loses respect for a man, she can't respect you and say love you at
That
the
love is
same
gone.
time. It does not work. So you want her to respect you and grow into love more than anything, because then you'll never get
But
called.
eventually you have both, right?
Eventually, but in
Okay,
the
but that was my only thing was why couldn't it be both?
But in the beginning, you want her to respect you.
Well, we weren't talking about just the beginning at the point until you just
Hey,
brought
come
that
get
up.
your cousin.
But I've seen couples. I have a friend that we used to go out back in the day, and clubbing or whatever the case may be. And I seen her and him give each other the most up respect of each other. It didn't matter who they talked to, who they were around, who there was, or whatever. They respected each other, and not only that, the people around them respected because they knew who they were. To the point, and not only that, you just seen that they were loved. They loved each other as well. That's why I'm saying when I said that, I said, why not have both? Now, at the very beginning of a relationship, I understand what you're saying. At the very beginning of meeting someone, of course, that I get that. I understand that. But that wasn't where I was at. That's why I was saying it lift both. Why you can't have both.
Yeah,
That's
but you know what? But when you grow, but this is the thing: when you are growing,
scary.
you're growing in the relationship, and the woman respects you as a man. That means she has enough knowing how to help you become a better man,
True.
helping you to be who you really desire to
Exactly.
be. So
And
she's
brings
willing
that out of
to
you.
ride and die with you
Exactly.
because she knows the potential that you carry. And then not only that, whatever you have, you're also helping her become the better part of who she is.
Right.
Because we will not ever know truly everything about who we are and what our potential is until you are married and you are challenged
That person, yeah.
every day with someone that you have to be conscious of and be able to make sure that you do your part and they're doing their part. But for a woman, I just want men to understand a woman will eventually love you, but when it comes down to you and making the right decisions, you want to know that she respects you more than anything, and that no matter what you do, when she has respect, she's willing to follow you. See, when they love you, they only loving you because of what you're giving them sometimes.
True.
They ain't loving you because they respect you. They love you because of what you're giving them and what they can get out of you. Then they walk out on you.
Right.
And they go to somebody else. So the reality of the respect thing, because guess what? There are things that women will not do for one guy because they may say, I love him. But when they got the dude that they respect, they all in.
God damn it, Dr.
Right.
C. Excuse me, you got me using the Lord everything.
I know, right?
But seriously,
I gotta give you the black list.
But that's the reality.
Drop it too.
So the thing is this: I tell my friend, I don't ever want to be in love when I meet my husband because I want to grow to that.
Come on.
But I do need to make sure that I got a lot of respect that no matter what happens with that dude, even if I have to step up, that I'm willing to do that for him because of the respect I have for him. Because if he's down, then I'm down. See, I can love you and we be down, and I'd be like, I'm out. Because I ain't in for that.
Now, ladies,
right.
I
now,
ain't signed up for that.
now,
But
Yeah.
you have
Dr.
to,
C,
you
you
have
gotta
to
respect
understand.
us. Dr.
Yeah,
C, you got to respect
but
me
you
now.
do.
Yeah.
You have
Come
to,
on now.
because when
You
you
do it
doing
again,
the right
do it again,
thing,
boy.
Hey, come on, ladies. Come on now. Come on now. Did you hear what she said? I wasn't there. Now, I'm not where she at. I didn't
Right.
tell her to say it. Like, but you better respect
It's not
us.
scripted.
It ain't scripted.
It's
You
not
better
scripted.
It's
respect
not
it.
script.
I think you know what? Because it's so funny you said that. Me and Marlon always make jokes about that.
Mm.
But one thing we never thought about, right? We think about his money, we think about who he is, but we never thought the fact that she just respects him more than she loves him.
Yeah.
That she could love what the guy, what you're doing for him, but she respect the man that he is. Come on, Dr. C.
Yeah.
Because when I said you was doing this, it was like you was making a pizza off this motherfucker. You feel me?
But it's true.
Boy, you done pissed Aziz
But
off.
it's
What
true.
happened?
You know, because I think even with, you know,
You know what she said?
this is what I believe.
She said, "Put
This
your
is
finger
what I,
down."
what I believe with even with Blackcliff and Jill. What I see is this: you have two people that have had totally separate lives, doing whatever.
Mhm.
But when they finally came together and they started forming a relationship, a friendship, and then Jill had a certain level of respect for Blackcliff because of the man that he presented himself to be. He wasn't somebody else, he was just genuine him. So it allowed her to say, do I want to hold this dude up? Do I want to ride with him no matter where we going? I'm good as long as we together.
Right.
You can only
And so it's good that you said that, because I tell her this more than I tell anybody else. For 29 years, I just had a wife. I now have a partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I have somebody that if we put our minds to it, like this
Yeah.
house we have, like I said, I was married for 29 years and I ain't have a pot to piss in or a
And you
window
was
to throw
making
it out.
hell cool money too at the time.
Bro, I was making fat bread, but anyway, I digress. So you know, and now here I am retired, and I meet Jill, and hell, before we were even married, we had closed on some land and was getting ready to get this house built from scratch within less than 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I found a partner and not just a wife.
Come on
Yeah,
now.
but it's the,
And so
it's the
that's what
respect.
people really should
Yeah,
strive
but it's
for.
the respect that she had because she knew that she could follow you. She knew she could trust you. And I think men don't get it. When women feel that they can't trust you, then they don't do what they need to do for you.
True.
So you got to understand that when a woman starts trusting a man and respecting him, she gonna ride with him no matter what.
To the end of the wheel,
True
to the
that,
wheels
true
fall
that.
off.
But if she just talking about, oh, I love you, can we go to the store tomorrow? I need some
Yeah.
red bottoms, or I love you, I need a new car, or everything is about materialistic things and how they're looking in front of their friends and all that, then that's not a person for you. Because at the end of the day, when you lay your head down to sleep and you wake up the next morning, can you wake up looking at that person that has not added value to you? And that's what you need to think about. If you got to argue with him or her, if you got to sit and trip with him or her, if y'all trying to one up each other, who has this and who has that, if you're going through all of that, then that's a relationship that's not worth anything because it's sitting on materialistic things. Everything is monetary and surface. So I would strongly advise a man that if a woman respects you and she allows you to be who you are, and she can say, you know what, I'm down for that, then that's what you want, because she gonna go the long distance. She ain't in it for just a good time. She's in it to win it.
And it's funny to me that people don't see that when they're in relationships.
Right.
When you're in a relationship and you see somebody like gently like pulling away, you know what I mean? They ignore that sign because basically that person doesn't respect you. You know what I'm saying? When mama starts going to the club by herself, bro, that respect is gone. When you know what I'm saying? But y'all still together, y'all still married, but when those signs crop up, people need to understand that the respect is
Everybody
gone.
doing their own thing. That's when you start calling people out their names and saying certain things and trying to be rude and
Definitely, yes.
hurtful.
Yeah.
So there's no respect. But when a woman respects you, she got your back. She ain't going nowhere. So I just respect. Look, brothers, get the respect. And she gonna tell you, you're gonna have to have hard conversations with her, because one, she's expecting you to be the man that she know you can be.
Absolutely.
This is the gift that women get. Women can see the dude going to another level when they can't see themselves.
Come on. Yeah.
So what they do is, if I know you have the potential to be the CEO, all I got to do is get behind you and push you. And that's what I'm going to do. Get behind you and push you, because I want you to be the CEO.
That's what's up.
I don't need to be everything and all of that. But if I know that you're on your way somewhere, I can get behind you and help you drive that truck or whatever to get there. And so we do our part because we want you to win. I don't think anybody and shouldn't be any woman, any good woman that got her right mind want a brother to fail.
Exactly.
Because that's a black eye to all of us. It ain't just on them. It's a black eye to all of us.
Exactly.
So you shouldn't want your man to fail or your potential guy to fail. You should want to be able to know that having those tough questions, and people say, well, I don't like conflict. Stop talking about conflict and talk about solutions.
Come on.
It ain't conflict, it's a conversation, baby.
They're using a word that makes it seem more extreme than what it is, and you getting all hyped and all that, and you going back telling your girlfriend's lies, and he telling his friend, his guy friend's lie. Just sit down and have a conversation, and sometimes you will find that through the hard conversations that there are things that you probably could have just missed.
Yeah.
But if you listen and say, okay, let me just listen. Let me just be able to take in whatever it is, and we move on, and either we're going to agree to disagree, or we're going to come to a conclusion and make a decision and finalize some things for what we're trying to do. But we can't just keep running into the same thing and talking, oh, girl, I don't want to have conflict, or we arguing. What are you arguing about? Because my whole thing is this: if I love you and now we've been together and I'm in love with you, you really can't say nothing to me to make me say that I don't love you.
Right.
Because I've already made up in my mind I'm riding with you to life, for life.
You're not gonna go from love to hate just because you have a conversation.
And then you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it?
Right. Really and if you do, you in the wrong
Carrie's
place.
in the house, you guys. Happy birthday to her. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy
birthday.
Day too late, but hey,
But that's what you have to do. You got to ask yourself, am I sitting here holding a grudge for something that doesn't make sense? Is it going to change the way I feel about them? Am I going to stop loving them? Am I going to stop doing what I normally do because we had a disagreement? If the answer is no, then chalk it up. Ain't no use in you still sitting there sweating over it, going through crazy and all that. Just chalk it up and move on. Because when you learn to forgive instantly, not tomorrow, not later on today,
proactively,
but right then and there, when you learn how to use that tool of forgiveness instantaneously, guess what? You take the weight off yourself from carrying a burden that never belonged to you. So you got to learn how to do these things. This is the only way you're going to be able to maintain and keep a good, healthy relationship, is that you learn how to just say, hey, we good. We can't go to bed mad and I don't say I love you. Tomorrow you may not wake up and then I'm
exactly
because I didn't say and do what I needed to do to make sure you understood that no matter what we was talking about, I'm still down for you. I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So we gotta stop with all the madness and the foolishness. And men have to be able to be vulnerable.
Man, why O tripping? Oh,
hey, Big O jumps out there. Big O said
bitter baby mamas want you to fail.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna confirm nor deny.
Well, look. No, the bottom line is
Yeah.
Bottom line is that's why they baby mamas and not wives.
Not wives. Come on now. Or like you said, teammates. Come on now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're not a teammate. They ain't on your team.
Yeah.
I agree, but I can't confirm nor deny.
All right, guys.
You can confirm that. You can stop that right now. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. All right, man. It's about that time.
It's that time,
Sometimes the time goes so fast,
Yeah,
man. When we
man.
get in these conversations, it's crazy. I look up, it's almost 2 hours. What the heck?
Yeah.
But I know y'all had a good time
they
out
was
there
in there.
listening
They was in
to
there.
us.
Yeah.
All of you guys has been listening to us. I know y'all had a good time. Don't forget to email us if you have a dear brother and sisters at firedbroadcasting@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? So we can have more conversations like this. Whatever. Send them to Lyft.
Hey, get your cousin.
Send them to Lyft. All right,
Jill-
Gussie's in the house.
Jill
Hey,
said, great
Gus.
show.
See, I
Good,
told
honest
I
conversation.
told you they be listening, man. They be listening. They don't want to say nothing, but they be listening.
They be hiding, man. They be lurking like a mug, lurking.
You lurking.
That's because Dr.
We got
Kyle
lurkers.
be laying it down on it, and
Yeah,
they know
no.
they can't say
No,
nothing.
for real. The ladies love Hey, I swear to you, the addition of Dr. C for real has took the show to a whole new level.
Because they have a voice.
Black Lip already detoxified us, because when he came on, we was toxic as hell for
Man, they was dirty. They was some dirty boys.
Hey,
Dirty.
we wild.
Dirty.
I was in a relationship,
Dr. C
boy.
don't agree too. She's sitting there like, yeah, y'all had problems. Y'all,
Hey, we was-
I swear
we
to
was-
God.
Y'all did. I
And
was on the show before.
Black Lip brought some maturity to us,
Mhm.
and then Dr. C brought the woman's touch, man. And I think that each show we all kind of feed off of each other, and it's just such a beautiful thing, man. It's a blessing for real.
On
She
that
does
note,
keep
all
us in line.
right. On that note, you guys, we got to get out of here.
We do.
Okay.
So, like I said, of course, I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming in. I love the dedication that we have, and how many episodes we've done so far. Ooh, goodness gracious, I don't lost count. But day in, day out, you guys, y'all know that we here. So tell a friend and tell a friend, like my boy Liff was gonna say anyway. So
Stop stealing my stuff. You're dirty.
Everybody lies. He's stealing
Go ahead.
That boy done lost.
all right, go ahead, fat boy. What you got?
Well, you just said he already told you what to do with the dear brother, dear sisters. But I just want to tell every last one of y'all, man, I love y'all, man. I like Fuel was saying, your support, your interaction, your attention to us. We appreciate every week. We love it. We learn from y'all, and I'll see y'all next week, man, for sure.
Let's go, Liff.
Hey, like Fuel stole my stuff. One person tell another person, tell another person, tell 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get it going. I love each and every one of y'all. All the listeners out there, thank y'all. I love one more in particular than anybody else. My lovely wife, Jill, who always chimes in.
Yes, she does.
Thank you for the support, baby. And like I said, just everybody tell somebody else, because we're here to help. We're here to break the stigma. We want people to be honest. We want people to talk. Because if we don't talk as a society, we are doomed to fail.
That part.
And repeat the same old stuff. Man.
And repeat the same stuff over and over. Dr. C?
All right, yeah, as usual, I gotta have Dr. C last because I like to hit it.
Well, the reality is this: it is always a pleasure. And guess what? This is the first of the year, so we have a lot of more shows to go. The good thing is this: everybody can chime in.
Yep,
exactly.
You don't have to sit there and be a spectator. You need to get in and type in.
That part.
So come on and talk to us so we can talk to you. But again, I love you guys. This is wonderful, great show. Give Jill a hug for me, Liv.
Absolutely.
Chilly Jill.
Look, until next time, be good to yourself, stay true to yourself, love yourself, and be kind until we meet again.
Come on now.
And remember,
if they
talk about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason.
Peace. Adios.
All our illusions will disapparate, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today.
Man.
We started now.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it.
I had it.
And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you